the polar bear, the eastern Massasauga rattlesnake, the Sumatran and Siberian tiger, the orangutan, the Puerto Rican crested toad, the tree kangaroo, the red wolf, the jaguar, the Karner blue butterfly, the wood bison, the trumpeter swan, the lake, the red, the gal, the St. Vincent heron.
Why are we here? We are here because the passenger pigeon isn't. We're here because the population of mountain gorillas is down to just 700. We're here because the Puerto Rican crested toad is telling us that something is going very wrong with our environment. We are here because without us, hundreds of species, thousands of animals would soon be gone. We are here because animals are the bellwether of our own survival. When they are affected, it's a warning that we too will soon be affected. The Toronto Zoo is here because, more than ever before, the work we do behind the scenes is vital to the survival of animals and to us.
What is having an impact on animals will also have an impact on us, and that's what keeps us working here.
Dr. Graham Crawshaw is the Toronto Zoo's head veterinarian.
The zoo works at many different levels. We're working in terms of conservation, education, and research. For instance, the gorillas here are under serious threat in the wild. And a lot of the zoo-based programs may actually be supporting research in the wild, which support reserves for these animals in the wild. Animals such as our Vancouver Island marmot, which is Canada's and the world's just about most endangered mammal. And we are breeding these animals here in the zoo, and they're being released back into the wild. You can't learn about snow leopards very easily in the wild, but we can learn a lot in zoos, and that expertise can then be applied to helping these animals survive. It is absolutely unlimited, what we could do given the right resources. And I think that's what gets us excited about coming to work each day, that I can have an impact, we can save a life, and that in turn saves other lives, and that's a pretty decent day's work.
Through groundbreaking work in conservation and research, the Toronto Zoo has become recognized as a world leader in the effort to save animals at risk. Inevitably, work at the Toronto Zoo saves not only the lives of animals, it plays a crucial role in the health of humanity.
Working at the Toronto Zoo really did affect my ideas about conservation.
Deanne Suakwan came to the Toronto Zoo on a student placement. It was an experience that opened her eyes to the importance of the work the Toronto Zoo does.
That's what's really inspiring about the zoo, is that the zoo can get that message across to people, creating that connection between humans and animals. It is an emotional experience. It's an experience that you can't imitate anywhere else. And as big and powerful and strong and sometimes scary as they are, they rely on us.
Toronto Zoo actually has one of the most active behind-the-scenes zoos that I've ever seen. It's very rare to see the level of innovation that you see with the keepers here. Of course, the vet staff are absolutely amazing, and the dedication and awareness that the zoo staff have is really phenomenal and well-renowned.
Dr. Rebecca Spindler is one of the world's leading specialists in reproductive research. She left the Smithsonian to work at the Toronto Zoo, bringing new hope to critical situations.
It was very apparent from the moment that I started talking with Toronto Zoo that they were going to be very supportive of having a larger conservation role for reproduction.
So Shani looks like she's cycling, she's not with a male, and Keisha was put with a male about this time, just before the rise in progesterone. So
that's right.
She could be pregnant, hopefully.
The main point of the job is to maintain genetic diversity. In our tanks at the moment we have herds of bison and prides of lions and all sorts of animals that we simply wouldn't have room to hold in the zoo itself, but fit perfectly well in our frozen zoo. The Brazilian government invited me to come down and see if I could figure out a way of cryopreserving jaguar semen in the field. I don't feel like I can leave here for very long, so we try and cram a lot into a very short period of time. We work from 4 o'clock in the morning, we ride horses 16 hours a day if we need to find the animals that we're trying to find, and come back battered and bruised. But the data that you're collecting and the work that you're doing, you really feel like you're making a difference. This data is now going to the Brazilian Environmental Agency, and they're going to use that in policy-making decisions of how close humans should come to jaguar habitat. So this data is actually making a difference.
Is she happy?
Yeah, she's very happy. She just had her birthday party.
I think zoos have evolved a lot in the last few decades, and the Toronto Zoo is a really great example. Now we really try and teach people and inspire people to learn more about the animals and care about the animals and to change their way of life as well.
Through its ongoing commitment to education, the Toronto Zoo is here to inspire our children with an understanding and love for all animals, so that they too may leave the world better than they found it.
Creating that connection between humans and animals, those emotional connections, that's what's really inspiring about the zoo, is that you do realize you're a part of this, you're a part of the environment, you're a part of the world.
Part of our education programs here, our missions here, is to get the message that no matter how insignificant, each animal has a place in nature. Even losing one species is a loss that cannot be replaced.
The Toronto Zoo. We're here for life.